This is the RX-7 carbureted version, last carbureted version made before they went to fuel injection, and that's the reason we got it. It has 45,000 miles on it, and it mostly just sits nowadays, but I drove it daily for about a year, and we've had it about 4 years now. The air conditioner still works on it. Needs some work because it's been sitting. It sat for about a year without anybody driving it, so that's not too good for it. Okay, that's the choke position on this. I just wanted you to see the shims that we put in it, and you can see the mini shims that we used to regulate it so that it's exactly right. And this car goes down the highway at 80 miles an hour with the carburetor, with the choke in that position. So it's fairly hard to believe if you understand how this works. Okay, that's the what we call a switch. That's a Lutron switch, which is a variable switch, as used in 120 volts. This is the oil probe on this car. This has never leaked. The one on the other car does, on the 2002. They're pretty hard to make, to do for just one-offs. That's a distributor, and you can see that it's advanced pretty far just by looking at the holes in it. I would say it's probably around 30 or 40 degrees advanced, and this car runs like a top just as it is. There's the way we cut the fuel back on this particular car, because it's a carbureted car. It has a 4-barrel, and also we have a switch on the coils, and there they are. That's the only modifications on the car. This car has 100 horsepower from the factory, and I would say it's probably got 50 horsepower as it sits at the rear wheels, without the Hall effect. With the Hall effect, I don't know what it's got, but the thing will spin the wheels easily, quite a bit more than stock. And as far as miles per gallon, on the trip out there, this thing would get 19 or 20 max highway miles per gallon. We got 23. Return trip, we got 23. So we drove it to Columbus, Ohio State's their test facility. Like I say, it still runs. It's used not every day anymore. That's the 97, my parts car. We're going to show you underneath the hood in a second. Mazda 97. This is the parts car that I use. Commonly didn't used to drive it till I put the coil pack on it. It's not a coil pack. It's just a 6-pack. Correction. And it has over here a 3-pack. And the other Mazda that I have, Miata that I have, is a 94, and it has a Sebring blower. And I would say that this car would beat it on acceleration. Neither car gets particularly great mileage improvement with the 6-pack, but both of them perform mightily compared to the stock car. And this one here just loves this 6-pack. You can see it points to the intake manifold. It's the only modification the car has. This is a stock, totally stock car, and if you take this stuff off of here, the thing runs like terribly. It misses, probably needs new spark plug wires, I don't know, but it doesn't run very well at all. This is the 2002. It's a little easier to tell what's going on with it because we don't have everything down in the wheel well where we normally put them. This has a coil pack on it and a 6-pack, and this kit's about the same mileage as the red car. Stock, it gets a little better than the red car, so it's hard to say whether it's doing better or worse, but it gets about the same mileage, 43.5 about. Okay, we're going to look underneath the hood of the 2002. As you can see, the coil pack here is facing the intake water, or the top water hose, and it's hooked up to the positive terminal, which comes right straight off the alternator. This is the box where all the wires, the positive wires, come out of on this particular car, and it also has a 6-pack here that is facing the water hose. And down below in here you can see the oil probe, which remains on this car from earlier testing, so we just went ahead and used it again just to see if it made any difference, and so far it hasn't. And that leads up to the water hose, and that's got 3 wraps on it, and that comes out of the positive lead on the coil pack. And that's all the modifications on this particular car, except for it does have underneath here a unit chip, and that's a DOS driven unit chip. It's been on the car since we first started testing it with the Hall effect, and it's about 50% reduction in fuel delivery. This is the 2006 Volkswagen Jetta TDI that we commonly call the red car for obvious reasons, and it's got approximately 108,000 miles on it now, and it commonly gets around 43.5 miles to a gallon now in local driving. I'm going to show you underneath the hood. Okay, this is underneath the hood of the 2006. There's absolutely nothing that I know of that you can tell makes it other than stock, except for this, and that's a 6-pack that we encased in various materials at one point. Now down, if you look, there's the air, and if you look down at the bottom, you can't see it here, but there's a 6-pack down there with a coil pack that this car runs, and that's what's made all the difference in the world. This is a picture of the 2011 blue test car that we drove for about 6,000 miles, and at one point achieved 150 miles per gallon on a 50-mile-an-hour run, which I have videos of. This is an under the hood picture of that same car, and as you can see, there's not much difference between this and any stock car you'd ever see. But I believe it was bone stock at this point, but we had at one point several different versions on it. And it would normally get around 40 miles to 42 miles a gallon, something like that, locally. This is the gold car that Rich and I tested and achieved 124 miles per gallon through a 2-mile test, and also 99 horsepower at the rear wheels, using a gauge that was probably 20% low in calibration. That's also shown in our test video. And this is under hood picture of the gold car, which is bone stock. It looked just like the blue car when we sold it. It's another picture of the gold car. We tested this car for about, I think it was about 20,000 miles before we sold it.